Okay, so moving on to the concepts of basic fundamentals. As you know, these concept rights of a partner. So there are few rights which a partner can enjoy in the business. The rights are as follows. The first right, as it says, every partner has got the right to participate in the management of the business. So as a partner, you have given the privilege, you have given the rights to take part in the business affairs, okay, and in the management of the business. It does not mean that only those who have financed, that means those partner who have contributed the capital should take part, not the one who has not contributed the capital. It is irrespective of the contribution of capital, whether you are participate, whether you are contributed or not, you should participate. Okay, so he has or she has a right to participate in the management, that is in the affairs of the business. The second right is the partner has the right to cons okay to be consulted, okay, about the business matters. So not only taking part in the affairs of the business, the partner should also be consulted. Say for example, suppose there are five partners or three partners. Among those partner, one partner is not feeling good. He has been hospitalized for more than a month's time. Some important decision is to be taken up. So they are discussing with the available partners. Only those who are available, they are taking part in the business affairs. The one who has been hospitalized is unable to take part. The partner should not come to a conclusion that except that particular partner who has been hospitalized, we all are agreeing for it. So let us proceed. No, they should also consider the one who's been hospitalized, so they can go to the hospital and get the information updated to the partner, and they can get his consent whether he is accepting for the decision or not. So that means, as it says very clearly, partners should be given the right to participate in the management of business, and they must be consulted before taking any decision. Okay, so they have to be consulted about the business matters. And then comes the third one. The partner has got the right to inspect the books of accounts, and they can also have a copy of it. Say, for example, if suppose one particular partner feels that I'm not sure whether the accounting process is being carried out properly or not, are they following the rules, regulation, principles of accounting or not? Okay, on what basis they are preparing the entries, I'm not sure about it. If they have any such type of queries, yes, they can get the copy of the entire accounting document. There is no, okay, restrictions on that. So the partner has got the right either to take the copy of the accounting document, or he can also inspect. Okay, he can review the accounting process. So that means whether he knows accounting or not, whether he has done the accounting process or not, that's not important. If he wants to inspect, if he wants to, okay, have a check over, yes, definitely he can inspect, and of course he can even take a copy of that particular document and do the needful. The next comes is every partner has the right to share the profit and losses in the agreed ratio. There is some term called as agreed ratio. Okay. In case profit sharing ratio is not agreed, then profits and losses are shared equally as provided in the Partnership Act of 1932. So I'm going to introduce two terms. Okay. First one is called as profit sharing ratio. Okay, there is something called as profit sharing ratio, which we will be denoting as shortly PSR. So PSR stands for profit sharing ratio. Now, This profit sharing ratio will be in any one out of these two. Number one, okay, agreed ratio, or it could be equally. Okay, it will be either in some agreed ratio or equally. So now let us try to understand what is this agreed ratio. Okay, this agreed ratio only when partnership need exist. First of all, okay, first and foremost, you have to keep in mind this agreed ratio. This agreed ratio will be in existence only when partnership need is available. So that's why I said agreed ratio only when partnership need exist. Okay, example, A and B are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3 is to 2. The firm earned a net profit of rupees 1 lakh during the year ended 31st March 2024. Show the distribution of profits. Now, how the question is, just read the question. A and B are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3 is to 2. The firm earned the profit, its net profit of rupees 1 lakh during the year ended 31st of March 2024. They're asking you to show the distribution of profit. Now tell me, in this question, they have clearly given you one information. A and B are partners sharing profits and losses. So they are sharing, okay, your profits and losses in the ratio of, what is the ratio? What is the ratio given in the question? 3 is to 2. So that is your agreed ratio as per this example. Okay, this is one type. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you? Oh. The next type will be in such a way. Now look at this question. A and B are partners sharing profits and losses equally. The firm earned net profit of rupees 1 lakh. Show the distribution of profit for the year ended 31st of March 2024. Do you find any difference between the previous example and the current example? Can you find any differences between the previous example? Okay, what's the difference? So here also they're given the ratio, but not like the exact one how it is. There's exactly in the previous one they said 3 is to 2 or 2 is to 3 or 1, okay, 1 is to 3, whatever it is. That is called, okay, expressing it. Like that is also an agreed ratio. Here also you are agreeing to share what? Profits and losses equally. So in the second example, okay, our agreed ratio is 1 is to 1. In the second example, what is our agreed ratio? 1 is to 1. And then it's a 1 is to 1. Because we have got two partners. One is A, other is B. Suppose if you have three partners, then the ratio will be as 1 is to 1 is to 1. Am I making it clear to you? Can you able to understand? If you have two partners, it is 1 is to 1 in case of equally. If we have got three partners, then 1 is to 1 is to 1. If we have got four partners, then 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. Hope you're getting the point. Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far with respect to if it is an equal partner or if it's agreed in that way? Okay. In these two cases, we can come to a conclusion that there is a partnership deed because they are given you something called as either in 3 is to 2 ratio they are sharing the profits or equally they are sharing the profits. Now look at the case. Okay, in these two cases, I can conclude that there is a partnership deed. Okay, partnership deed is available. Now let us see a case where deed is not available. Okay. Now what I have done here, the third example, A and B are partners in a firm. The firm earned a net profit of rupees 1 lakh during the year ended 31st of March 2024. Show the distribution of profits. Now, do you find any difference now between the first example, second example, and third example? Do you find any difference between this three examples and third example? Any differences there? Hello? Is there any difference that you find in the third example, Kana? Hello? Can you able to hear me? Am I audible to you? Hello? Okay. Can you tell me whether you are able to understand or not? Or do you find any differences between these three examples? First example, second example, and here the third examples. Is there any variation that you find in these three examples? You can check line by line, word by word. Okay. Okay. Very good. Exactly. So the third case where you can conclude is there is no profit sharing ratio. That means there is no deed, first of all. Okay, in the first two, we can come to a conclusion that there is a partnership deed. Here, you can come to a conclusion that no partnership deed is available. Okay, no partnership deed is available. So, when this situation exists, when no partnership is available, always remember profits and losses will be shared equally only. There's a condition. Okay, in the first two cases, we had partnership deed, and it was mentioned very clearly. In the first example, they have agreed to share it in the ratio of 3 is to 2. That is agreed ratio. In the second example, also there is a partnership deed, and they are agreeing to share it equally. So, equally is a agreed ratio. So, we have seen here the two terms agreed ratio. So, if in the question it is specified they have agreed to share in 3 is to 2, or if they agree to share the profits equally, then that will be your agreed ratio. Suppose if the question does not specify any information, then obviously it comes under the category of no partnership deed available. So in those cases, no other go, it should be shared equally only. So that's why we are saying it separately equally. Okay, so in agreed ratio, you can find a specific ratio 3 is to 2 or equal ratio also. But equally is a condition which will be applicable only when deed is not available. So here in equally category, it could be like 1 is to 1 or 1 is to 1 is to 1 or 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. Okay, depending upon the number of partners available in that particular problem. Am I making sense to you? Okay. And also, it's a very simple, which I did not say it. In here, I'm just giving an example to you. Suppose if we have got three partners, okay, for equally, I'm just giving you. There are three partners, and that means your profit sharing ratio will be as 1 is to 1 is to 1. Then, when you express this, it will be as 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. Okay, the base should be a 3 if there are three partners. If we have got four partners, then it will be as 1 is to 1 is to 1 is to 1. In this case, your data will be as 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, and 1 by 4 respectively. Able to understand? Can you able to understand? Okay. Now suppose in this example, a and b case, we got 1 is to 1. So that means what will be the fraction then? Very good. 1 by 2 and 1 by 2. Okay, so depending upon the number of partners, if it is marked equally, make sure the total number of partners will be there in your denominator. This is how you will have to convert it and you will have to go ahead with the calculations. Am I making sense to you? Okay, fine. So coming up to the next concept. If a partner has advanced loan, he has the right to receive interest thereon at an agreed rate of interest. In case the rate of interest is not agreed, okay, it is paid at the rate of, okay, provided in the Indian Partnership Act of 1932, which is 6 percentage per annum. Okay, which is 6 percentage per annum. Now, let me give you an example so you'll have a clear idea. In business, We don't know when the situation will arise for any additional capital or for the requirement of funds in order to procure, that is, in order to purchase the raw materials, goods, water that you're dealing with for the trade activities. So, if in case your capital is not sufficient enough, you will have to introduce some additional capital. So, I think I don't want to give a detailed explanation about what is additional capital. You would have learned in grade 11 itself what is additional capital generally, and also you would have been given a detailed explanation when it comes to single entry system. Additional capital introduced. So, additional capital is nothing but the capital which is introduced by the proprietor as and when required during the due course of the business for either expansion purpose or for the procurement of raw materials or for the regular requirement in the business. Okay, for day-to-day activities also. This additional capital, what you are going to introduce, sometimes it will be available with the respective partners. If suppose the partners is not having any source to bring the capital, then they may go for a bank loan. They may go and approach various banks, okay, for a loan. The reason is they will not stick to one particular bank alone, because every bank, they charge interest for the loan what they are going to provide you. Say for example, if I am going to obtain a personal loan, okay, for a particular reason, whereby one particular bank, Indian bank, I'm approaching it. They say that for personal loan, the interest rate will be 13 percentage. Okay, I'm approaching another bank, ICICI Bank. They say it will be 12.5 percentage. Then I'm approaching HDFC Bank. They are saying it will be 14 percentage. And then I'm approaching Indian Overseas Bank. They say it will be 10 percentage. So that means there is a slight variation between the banks to banks with respect to the interest rate. Even if one percentage is less, obviously I will go only with that particular bank which is offering me a less rate of interest, isn't it? நமக்கு எந்த பேங்க் வந்து கம்மியான இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் சார்ஜ் பண்றாங்களோ அந்த பேங்க்ல தான் நம்ம லோன் போய் இருப்போம். இல்லைனாக்கா எந்த பேங்க்ல நமக்கு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் நிறைய சார்ஜ் பண்றாங்களோ அந்த பேங்க்ல போய் நம்ம லோன் அப்ளை பண்ணுவோமா? எந்த பேங்க்ல லோன் அப்ளை பண்ணுவோம்? In which bank you will go and apply the loan? The bank which charges you the minimum, okay, or less interest rate, or the bank which is going to charge you, okay, a huge interest rate? Tell me. Obviously, because when you reduce your rate of interest, that will also lead to earning profits. எவ்வளோக்கு எவ்வளோ நம்ம இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்டையும் இருக்கா, அதுவும் ஒரு செலவு. இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் எந்த அளவுக்கு நம்ம குறைக்கிறோமோ, ஈவன் தட் வில் ஹெல்ப் அஸ் டு earn some extra profits, that will boost our profits. So this is the concept. Now you are applying loan for 3 4 banks, and then you find one particular bank, okay, is having a less interest rate, but they're asking for a lot of papers to be submitted, documents to be submitted. One bank is not asking you any papers, but they are charging a high interest rate. Like there are various banks, okay, 4 5 banks which you approach. Each one is having some plus or minus. But one major thing is you don't have all the documents or papers, whatever they are requesting you or whatever they are in need of. So now a situation arises. What needs to be done? எல்லா பேங்க்லேயும் இந்த பர்டிகுலர் டாக்குமெண்ட் கேட்குறாங்க, அந்த டாக்குமெண்ட் நம்மக்கிட்ட இல்லையே. தேர் ஆஸ்கிங் ஒன் பர்டிகுலர் பேப்பர் விச் we don't have it. Without the document they will not process the loan. What should I do? How will I get the funds? What needs to be done next? They are working on it. Then one particular partner, he is a good, well off, he is sound partner. That means when compared to other partners, he is having some extra wealth. He is a wealthy partner compared to others. You'd have learned in economics something called as an opportunity cost. Okay, the same this particular partner is going to make use of. என்ன பண்ணாரு யோசிச்சு பார்த்தார். ரைட்டு. எல்லா பேங்க்லயும் பேப்பர் ஒர்க் கேட்குறாங்க. எல்லா பேங்க்லயும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னாக்க சார்ஜ் பண்றாங்க இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட். ஒண்ணு 13%, 14%, 12.5, 10ன்ட்டு இருக்கு. ஓகே, ரைட்டு. Why don't I use this opportunity? Now he is coming out. Well, don't worry. I will support you. I'll try to help you by getting the additional funds. I'll arrange for the funds. அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு முதல்ல he is giving a positive hope. Saying that let me discuss with my wife and then let me pledge her jewelry. அவங்களோட ஜுவல்லரிஸை வந்து நான் விற்று காசு கொண்டு வர பார்க்குறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு he is trying to give you a hope. But actually he's not going to pledge any of her wife's jewelry and all. He has wealth separately. He is going to bring that wealth, but for the purpose he is making use of some, okay, extra bit, saying that let me sell the jewelries of my wife and let me bring it. Okay, and I'll support you by providing it as a loan. ஸோ அந்த அடிஷ்னல் கேபிட்டலாக நான் போடும்போது நான் அந்த லோனை ஆஃபர் பண்ணுறேன். யூ பே இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ஃபார் இட். நவ் ஹீ இஸ் டிமாண்டிங் தட் let me provide you the same amount of loan what you require. Pay me 9 percentage or 8 percentage. While at the time of providing the loan itself, he is very clear how much he needs as a rate of interest. Then if you are maintaining a partnership deed, and suppose in the partnership deed if you have documented this particularly, then he will be provided at the rate whatever is mentioned. Suppose you are not maintaining a partnership deed, then in that case he might demand even extra amount. For example, he would have given whatever the loan is. He says, I want 15 percentage, I want 12 percentage, like that. If suppose you have got this statement recorded in the partnership deed, then whatever the rate mentioned in partnership deed, you will allow accordingly. But if your partnership deed is not mentioning about this particularly, or if you are not maintaining a deed at all, then in that case, no other go. It has to be provided at the rate of 6% per annum. Able to get the concept? Can able to understand the concept? So a partner has got the right to support the business by offering some funds in the name of loan. Okay, he can support the business by offering something called loan. It's called advancing loan. Okay, and if suppose the rate of interest for that particular loan is provided or mentioned in the partnership deed, then he will be allowed in that particular interest rate. If nothing is mentioned, then it will be allowed only at the rate of 6% per annum. This is very, very, very important. Per annum. Don't just literally take 6% alone. 6% per annum. This per annum, if it is not mentioned, okay, then your answer will be wrong. There are some questions where they'll give you 6% per annum, okay, 6.5% something like that. If you are blocking only 6% without blocking per annum, then your answer is wrong. Suppose if the question has got some 3 4 options in such a way, 6% per annum, okay, 6.5%, none of the above. If this example you go with 6% per annum. Suppose if the a question, okay, has got examples, so it has options in such a way that 6.5 percentage, 5 percentage per annum, 12 percentage, and none of this, then none of this will be your answer, because though you have 6 percentage, the per annum is not mentioned, so you should not block 6 percentage just like that. You should ensure whether the option has got along with 6 percentage per annum. If it has only 6 percentage without per annum, please do not block that particular option. You have to be very, very, very careful, because some words will change the entire problem. Okay, it will change the, okay, structure of a problem. I'll tell you very clearly, some words will entirely change the structure of the problem. And the ப்ராப்ளத்துக்கான அப்ரோச்சையே மாற்றி விட்டுரும். So please read the question carefully, understand the situation and scenario, and then take a call. Now, can you able to understand the fifth point? Any doubt in the fifth point? Any doubt in the fifth point? Okay. Let me give you an example to test your accuracy, whether you understood the concept or not. Okay. Excuse me. இப்போ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கேஸ் என்ன சொல்லிருக்க கொஸ்டின் படிங்க கேஸ் படிங்க. A, B, and C were partners in a firm, sharing profits and losses in 3 is to 1 is to 1 ratio. The firm wants to go for an expansion for which they are in need of additional funds. Partner B offered an amount of rupees 2 lakh as loan. Case 1, partner B demands 10 percentage interest on the loan he offered. What will be your solution for this? What will be your solution? He's demanding 10% interest. Will you offer him 10% interest or at a different rate of interest? What will be the interest? Hello? Am I able to understand my question? There is a three partner in a problem. They're sharing profits and losses, everything in the ratio of 3 is to 1 is to 1. The firm was in a urge of expansion, idea of expanding their business, for which they need some additional funds. And partner B is coming forward to provide that additional fund in extent of rupees 2 lakh in the form of loan. Now, in case one is partner B is demanding that he needs 10 percentage interest on the loan what he offered. Now, tell me whether we will offer him the interest rate at rate of 10 percentage or at some other percentage. Will we be giving him that? What percentage? Okay. Any other answer? Okay. Fine, per annum, it is not mentioned. Okay, from his point of view, that is, he is given 10 percentage. Okay, in that case, there could be per annum or it will be without per annum. That's not an issue. Okay, but when we are taking a call, when we declare what rate we can provide it, in that only we should mention per annum. அவங்க கேட்கறதுல per annum இருக்கலாம் இல்லாமலும் இருக்கலாம், that is different. But when we give a conclusion, when we write our final answer, in that only per annum is very important. And the per annumங்கிறது okay should be there as a final answer. Okay, now tell me, here there is a 10 percentage. Will we going to offer it 10 percentage or at some other rate? Now tell me, we are going to give it at 10% or some other rate? Hello, but today you are taking a lot of time to give your answer. Okay. How about others? See, it's a very, very, very startup session, a beginning session. Obviously, okay, you might give me a right answer or it may even go wrong. That's not an issue. But unless and otherwise, if you don't open your mouth or speak out, then time will get wasted, number one, and we will not be able to cover or will not be able to understand the concepts. Okay, we'll take a lot of time in one concept itself. We have planned in such a way that per day at least minimum three concepts to be taught. But if you are going it in a very slow pace, then in place of three, we'll able to see only one or one and a half. So don't waste your time. Think about it and let me know whether you understood or not, whether this rate or some other rate. Then, if it is right, you are going to understand it in the right sense. If it is wrong, you are going to correct yourself, right? So please don't keep yourself silent. Yes, tell me, in this case, partner B is demanding 10% interest on the loan he offered. Whereas in the above example, to said very clearly, the partners are so and so, and they are sharing profits and losses in this ratio, and he offered the loan for an amount of rupees 2 lakh, and he is demanding 10% interest rate. Now tell me, will it be offered at 10% or some other rate? One person has given me the answer like it will be given at 10%. How about the remaining two? Okay, pretty different percentage. What about the other one? Okay, so if it is a 10 percentage, okay, then it is a wrong answer. Okay, so if he is going to demand 10%, if you are going to give 10%, then it is wrong. In this case, it should be offered only at the rate of 6 percentage per annum. Now you may ask me, what is the reason how it is, sir? I'll tell you. By looking at the question, you know very well that there is a partnership deed. Okay, deed is available. How? Because we are given you one example that they're sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3 is to 1 is to 1. So this is an indicator, this is a clue that we have partnership deed. So in this example, deed is available. There is no doubt about it. But with respect to this interest, it is not mentioned in the deed. Okay, it is not mentioned in deed. ஸோ டீடில் ஓகே நம்ம ப்ராஃபிட் ஷேரிங் ரேஷியோ பண்ணி தான் சொல்லியிருக்கே தவிர ஓகே அண்ட் தென் generally the problem has given you an information that who has come forward to support you by providing the loan amount. But in the deed, it is not specifically mentioned what is the interest that you are going to provide it for the loan what you have borrowed. நீங்கள் borrow பண்ண அந்த loan அமௌண்ட்டுக்கு நீங்கள் in the sense what I'm saying is the firm. Okay, when I use the word Ninga, it is nothing but I'm consolidating entire people in the firm as one, so it is firm. So yesterday only I taught you individually you're a partner, collectively it is a firm. Okay, so the word when I use Ninga, Naka, just talking about the firm. Okay, so here you could see very well that the firm has borrowed 2 lakhs, But for this 2 lakhs, what is the interest rate is nothing mentioned in the deed. Only in the case, if you see, we can see that the partner is only demanding. The partner is demanding that I need 10% interest for the loan what provided to you. But it is not mentioned anywhere in the deed how much the firm will going to offer for that particular loan amount of rupees 2 lakhs. அந்த 2 lakhsக்கு என்ன அமௌண்ட் நான் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் தர போறேங்கிறது எங்கேயுமே டீட்ல மென்ஷன் பண்ணப்படல. So if that is a situation, we go with this concept, not mention deed regarding interest on the loan. So in that case, it will be as 6% per annum. Can you able to understand this example? Can you able to understand the example? Okay. Now let me move on to the next example. Okay, the same concept with a different example. A, B, and C were partners in a firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 2 is to 1 is to 2. The firm needs additional funds for expansion. Partner B Okay. Now look at this example. Do you find any variation between the previous example and this example? Just you can compare and see and let me know. The previous example also is there on top. Okay. And here you have this example. Compare and let me know whether is there any variations. Is it clear to you all? Can you? Okay. So compare and tell me what is the difference that you find. Is there any difference or there is no difference? Okay. What is the difference? Okay. Very good. So you can find very clearly that the statement says very clearly that A, B, and C were partners in a firm sharing the profits and losses in the ratio of 2 is to 1 is to 1 in the second example. The firm needs additional funds for expansion. Partner B volunteered himself and provided rupees 2 lakh as loan to the firm at 10% interest rate. So that means he volunteered himself for rupees 2 lakh at 10% interest rate. So this 10% interest rate is nothing but when he is offering itself, he is making his terms, conditions, demands very clearly that at 10% interest rate. So this will be the rate at which now you're going to provide it. Okay, in the previous, in the main question, it is not mentioned what is the interest rate. Only in the case it has been mentioned, he is demanding for it. Okay, but here, while he providing itself, he has laying the condition. There's a difference between these two. நான் கொடுக்கும் போதே கண்டிஷன் வச்சு தான் கொடுத்தேன் ஓகே 10% அப்படின்ட்டு அப்போ அந்த இதுக்கு அக்ரி பண்ணாதான் லோனே அவங்க வாங்குவாங்க அப்போ அந்த இதுக்கு அக்ரி பண்ணனா தே நாட் அப் இந்த லோன் ஸோ அப்போ செகண்ட் கேஸில் அவங்க அக்ரி பண்ணிட்டாங்க. ஸோ அப்போது பார்ட்னர்ஷிப் டீடில் அது ரெக்கார்ட் ஆயிருக்கு. ஸோ அப்போ இந்த கேஸில், ஓகே, இந்த செகண்ட் கேஸ் யூ வில் ப்ரொவைட் இட் at the rate of 10 percentage per annum. Though it is mentioned here as at 10 percentage interest rate, it will be at 10 percentage per annum. Is it clear to you? The difference between the first two? Okay. One more example I'll give you, okay, to have one clarity. Shall we? The third examples. Now see what is given in the question. Now read the question. Do you find any difference in this question? Do you find any difference in this question? Comparing to first two and third. One, two, and three. Perfect. Good. So, as you know very well that whatever it is in accounting, date is very important. Always I used to say, okay, date plays a major role because the loan interest will be calculated only from the date when you have obtained the loan. Okay, it is similarly like in depreciation chapter, you know how to calculate depreciation. You will apply the depreciation on that particular fixed assets from the date when it has been purchased. ஸோ அப்போ எந்தெந்த ப்ராப்ளம்ல நமக்கு ஒரு ரேட் இருக்கோ அது இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இல்லை, ரேட் இருந்தாலே ஓகே 12% 10% ரேட் இருந்தாலே தென் வி நீட் டு ஓகே என்ஷூர் தட் த டேட் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் வெதர் டேட் இஸ் given ஆர் நாட். ஸோ ஹியர் டேட் ஆஃப் லோன் இஸ் given to you. Very good. And tell me whether do you have deed in this problem or you don't have deed in this problem? Deed இருக்கா இல்லையா? Do you have deed or you don't have deed? Hello? Deed is available. Good. Because it says very clearly A, B, and C were partners sharing profit and losses equally. So, information about the profit and loss is given to you in the question. Just today only I taught you here whether deed is available or not. Okay, you have two information. One is agreed ratio, the other one is equally. In agreed ratio, you may find some specific ratio 3 is to 1 is to 1. Okay, or else the word equally is also mentioned. Means it is a deed available category only. Am I right? Am I right or wrong? The first two examples you see, the first two examples you see, in the first example we have given deed available and we have mentioned 3 is to 1 is 1. That is the agreed ratio. In the second example also we are given deed available and the ratio is 2 is to 1 is to 1. And in the third example we are given you, instead of that particular numbers, we are given you equally. So even in this case, what is the concept? Deed available. Deed is available. And at the same time you are given an information that you are going for the expansion. Partner B is coming forward to offer the loan of rupees 2 lakh, okay, to the firm on this particular date. At what rate of interest? At 12 percentage interest rate. So now it is given very clearly in the deed itself. This has been documented. He is coming forward for 2 lakhs rupees loan at the rate of 12% per annum. Now tell me, in this case, at what rate you will offer, 12 percentage or some other percentage? What will be your answer? What will be your answer? Very good, 12 percentage. Now let us see how to calculate this interest. Okay, yes, your answer is right. It will be given at the rate of 12 percentage per annum. This is your answer. Okay, right. But we'll explore what is that interest amount will be. So how to calculate loan amount into the rate. Whatever is the rate, that rate by 100 into months by 12. So what is the loan amount? Loan amount is 2 lakhs into what is the rate? 12 percentage into months by 12. Okay. Now you should understand what is the months I take, sir. When nothing is mentioned about your accounting period, we understand that you're following April to March. Okay, when information about your accounting period, when it starts, when it ends, is not given the question, we go with this period itself, April to March. So tell me whether in this question have you mentioned anywhere like year closure date or the beginning of your accounting period, something like that? இந்த ப்ராப்ளம் எங்கேயாவது உங்களுக்கு ஸ்டார்ட் அப் ஆஃப் த இயர் இல்லை எப்போ எண்ட் ஆகுது ஏதாவது இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் கொடுத்துருக்கோமா? நோ. அப்போ நம்ம என்ன அக்கௌண்டிங் பீரியட் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறோம்னு சொல்லி டிக்ளேர் பண்ணலாம். ஏப்ரல் டு மார்ச். ஓகே, ஃபைன். நீங்கள் லோன் எப்போ வாங்கியிருக்கீங்க? லோன் வாங்கின டேட் எப்போ? ஓகே. ஸோ அப்போ 1/10/24 வாங்கியிருக்கீங்க. அப்புறம் ஆப்வியஸ்லி இது என்ன பீரியட் வரும்? 24 டு 25ங்கிற பீரியடில் இட் வில் பி கவர். அப்போ ஃப்ரம் அக்டோபர் till March, how many months is there? October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. So that means you have got 6 months. So you'll calculate the interest loan of 2 lakhs for this accounting period only for 6 months at the rate of 12 percentage. That means 2 lakhs into 12 by 100 into 6 by 12. 12 getting cancelled. Two zeros over here, two zeros over here getting cancelled. Now what is the remaining value? 2000 into 6, right? So 2006 is 6 twos are 12 followed by 3 zeros. So which means 12,000 rupees will be your interest on that loan of 2 lakhs for the accounting period 2024-25. Okay. So for the period 24-25, your interest on loan is for calculated in this way, right? Now if you want to calculate for the second year, okay, that is second year will be as 25 to 26. In this example 25-26, it will be calculated in such a way: 2 lakhs into 12 by 100. Am I making sense to you? Okay, 2 lakhs into 12 by 100. Okay, Now, what will be the answer? Cancelling the common zeros, you left over 2000 into 12. So in this, it will be as rupees 24,000. So the same pattern what you learned in depreciation, from the date of purchase of machinery till the year closure, you will calculate the first year depreciation. The same way, from the date of loan till the year closure, you will apply and you will calculate the interest on loan for the first year. For the second year, it is going to be there for the full year. So you are going to calculate at the rate of 12% per annum. So that is the changes. Can you able to understand? Interest on loan. Okay, so the two information, if it is mentioned as some percentage in the partnership deed, then no other go, you have to provide it only at that particular rate of interest. If nothing is mentioned, only then in the rate of 6 percentage per annum. And remember one important concept, this concept, interest on partners loan. Under this, you have got two varieties. Okay, under this, you have got two varieties. What are they if you ask? One, loan provided by partner to firm. Loan has been provided by the partner to firm. Okay. The second type is loan provided by firm to partner. என்ன சார் ரெண்டுத்துக்கு வித்தியாசம்? முதல்ல வந்து பார்த்தா பார்ட்னர் தான் வந்து ஃபர்முக்கு கொடுக்குறாரு. Partner is supporting the firm by giving the loan amount. Second caseல ஓகே firm தான் பார்ட்னருக்கு கொடுத்து உதவுறது. There is a difference between these two concepts. நம்ம இப்போ பார்த்தது எங்க சார் எந்த கான்செப்ட் இதில் சொல்லுங்க பார்ப்போம். நம்ம இப்போ டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணல எந்த கான்செப்ட் ரெண்டுல லோன் ப்ரொவைட் பை பார்ட்னர் டு த ஃபர்மா இல்ல லோன் ப்ரொவைட் பை ஃபர்ம் டு பார்ட்னரா? Exactly, good. So we have discussed this concept. So இந்த கான்செப்டுக்கு தான் இந்த ரூல் applicable. ஓகேவா? The rule what we have discussed, okay, at an agreed rate of interest or at the rate of 6% per annum இருந்த அது இந்த கான்செப்டுக்கு தான் applicable. ஓகே, இதுக்கு தான் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா either at agreed rate of interest, agreed interest rate or 6% per annum. The rule is sound enough or it will be applicable only for this category. Whereas in the second category, loan provided by firm to partner, if rate of interest is mentioned indeed, then interest will be calculated as per deed. Okay, else no interest is calculated. Else no interest is calculated. கிளியரா? அப்போ இந்த கேஸுக்கும் அந்த கேஸுக்கும் வித்தியாசம் இருக்கு. பார்ட்னர் ஃபர்முக்கு கொடுத்துருந்தாங்கன்னா டீல் இருந்ததுன்னா டீல்ல சொல்லியிருக்கிற ரேட்ல நம்ம சார்ஜ் பண்ணுவோம். ஓகேவா? ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணுவோம். டீல் இல்லாட்டா 6% per annum சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம டிக்ளேர் பண்ணுவோம். ஆனா அதுவே இந்த இடத்துல இருந்து லோன் ப்ரொவைட் பை ஃபர்ம் டு பார்ட்னர்னா டீல்ல மென்ஷன் பண்ணியிருந்தோம்னாக்கா அந்த ரேட்ல நம்ம வந்து கால்குலேட் பண்ணுவோம். இல்லாட்டா we will not calculate it. Is this clear to you? Is this clear to you? Okay. So இது ஒன்று வந்து ஃபேர்முக்கு எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ், ஒன்று வந்து ஃபேர்முக்கு இன்கம். ஓகே, இந்த ரெண்டு ஐட்டத்தை பார்த்தினாக்கா, ஒன் இஸ் an expense to the firm, the other is an income to the firm. எது சார் எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ்? பார்ட்னர் ஃபேர்முக்கு கொடுத்த லோனுக்கு ஃபேர்ம் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பே யூ த இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட். ஓகே, அப்போ இந்த கேஸை பார்த்தினாக்கா, ஃபேர்ம் பே interest to partner. Okay. The second case, partner pay interest to firm. இப்போ சொல்லுங்க, எந்த கேஸ் வந்து ஃபேர்முக்கு இன்கம், எந்த கேஸ் வந்து ஃபேர்முக்கு எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ்? இந்த ரெண்டு கேட்டகரியில் எந்த கேஸ் ஃபேர்முக்கு வந்து எக்ஸ்பென்ஸாக இருக்கும், எந்த கேஸ் ஃபேர்முக்கு வந்து இன்கமாக இருக்கும்? Perfect. Good. Okay, the first case, this is an expense. The second case is an income case. Okay, because firm is paying interest. So anything when you make a payment, it is an expense. Anything when you receive it, it is an income. So partner pay பண்ற interest யார் receive பண்றாங்க? Firm is receiving it. So income, okay, to the firm. Hope it is clear to you. Hope it is clear to you up to this concept, interest on loan. Right. Just will complete the session. There are only two more points under this interest rate. Okay. The next one, it is mentioned as partner has the right to take decisions in the interest of the business. So as we have discussed, he has a right to take part in the affairs of the business. He should be consulted, okay, for taking a decision. And yes, of course, that is a right which has also been mentioned very clearly. He has a right to take decisions in the interest of the business. And next point is a partner has a right not to allow the admission of a new partner. What is this, sir? Suppose, say for example, there are three partners A, B, and C. Okay, there are three partners A, B, and C. They have a good understanding, their childhood friends. Okay, they are running the business smoothly. Now, among these three partner, one partner is getting aged. Say for example, partner C is getting aged. He wants to introduce his son or daughter into the business in his place. Now, if the remaining partner A and B agree for this particular proposal, fine, good, it can be done. But suppose if one particular partner thinks that அது எப்படி நம்ம சைல்ட்ஹுட் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் நம்ம வந்து ஒரு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்காக இருந்து ஓகே ரைட்டு இவனோட பையனையும் இவனோட பொண்ணையும் நமக்கு ஈக்குவலாக ட்ரீட் பண்ணுறதா சாரி ஐ டோன்ட் அக்செப்ட் திஸ் ஈக்குவலாக ட்ரீட் பண்ண சென்ஸ் அவனும் நமக்கு எப்படி ஈக்குவலாக ஒரு பார்ட்னராக இருக்க முடியும் ஐ cannot accept this. That is a prestige issue. That is my ego. So that means if any one partner is objecting for the admission of a new partner, whether the new partner is a blood relative or any other third party, for example, his friend or someone else, the third party, whatever it is, he has a right to object for it. Okay, so a partner has got a right not to allow the admission of a new partner. That means he has a right to object. எனக்கு இதில் விருப்பம் இல்லை அவன் பிஸ்னஸில் சேர்க்கறதுல எனக்கு விருப்பம் இல்லைன்னு சொல்லி if he is standing away, then the partner can't be admitted. So even if you want to bring any person into the business, mutual understanding of all the partner, consent of all the partners is essential. ஒருத்தர் மட்டும் பைபேக் பண்ணி தனியா நிக்கிற எனக்கு இதுல உடன்பாடு இல்லை எனக்கு இதுல விருப்பம் இல்லை ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் ஹிம் டு பி த பிஸ்னஸ்னா then he can't be brought into the business. Hope it is clear to you. Is it clear to you? Okay, the last point says after giving notice, partner has a right to retire from the firm. So we discussed various chapters in the first session where we saw admission of a partner, retirement, debt, all those things. If a partner wants to retire from the firm, then he or she has to give a proper notice from the retirement. Okay, like for example, even a good examples we'll say schools also, okay, or any corporate office. If a particular employee wants to retire, that is, he wants to quit, a particular job and go to some other job, he has to give his instant interest of resigning the post. Okay, that means he's resignation. He's okay tendering the resignation. Even in school also, if you see, if you want to quit, you have to serve some notice period. You have to give 3 months notice in advance or 3 months salary to be provided. So that means everywhere we have this criteria. Even in partnership business also, you have this condition that you want to retire. Yes, you can, no issue. But give a breathing time. Give a 3 months notice or at least a minimum period of notice. So giving notice, okay, in partnership, considering that he wants to retire, yes, it can be done. So without notice, if he is going to retire, it can't be accepted. So these are the concepts relating to the topic of rights to a partner. Though it is a theory concepts, I have touched few problematic areas. Like we discussed something called profit sharing ratio means what, how it could be. It could be equal, okay, or it could be an agreed ratio. We discussed what is an agreed ratio is all about, okay, with couple of examples, and then we understood whether deed is there or not, and we also discussed about something called as interest on the loan offered by the partner, where without the dates, with the dates, and without the deed, with the deeds, we have understood the concepts, okay, and how it is being done to the next year. All those things we are discussing today. And yes, the word per annum is also very important in the interest concept calculations, and the rights whatever is necessary. So total there are 8 different rights which is allocated to a partner. I think it is clear in today's concept. Any doubt in today's concept? Do anyone have any doubts? Okay. So let us put an end for the concept today. Okay. If time permits, we'll have a session in the evening. Okay. Else, we'll go ahead with the tomorrow's concept. Okay. That is tomorrow will be the session. So tomorrow might be in the morning or it could be in the evening. I'll let you know by tonight. Okay. Keep following your RAW, okay, your group. So notification will be mentioned in the RAW group and act accordingly. Okay, max to max by around 10 o'clock. Okay, 10:15, you'll get the information whether class is there in the morning or in the evening or no class. So with respect to the information about the class, okay, it will be notified to you max to max by 10:15, not beyond that. Okay, thank you. Welcome, welcome.